sit in and get with you, baby, tonight. I don't wanna love, I don't wanna fight. I don't wanna have to tell you all the things I know. I don't wanna stay, but I don't wanna go. I don't wanna be the lover in your arms. I don't wanna be the one to keep you from home. I don't wanna be the crooked person in your heart. I don't wanna stop, but I don't wanna stop. Part-time love, how we suffer now. And I don't wanna waste no more of your precious time. I don't wanna say that everything will be fine. I don't wanna feel your tears on my skin. I'm a coward, baby, don't let me in. Part-time love, how we suffer now. So I don't wanna sit in and get with you, baby, tonight. I don't wanna love, I don't wanna fight. I don't wanna have to tell you all the things I know. I don't wanna stay, but I don't wanna go. I am a poor wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world of war. There is no sickness, toil nor danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my mother. I'm going there, no more to roam. I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going Hush, little darling, don't say a word. I'm gonna buy you a mockingbird. Say, darling, say. And if that mockingbird don't sing, I'm gonna buy you a diamond ring. Yes, and I know that diamond ring. Yes, I know that diamond ring is gonna shine. Darling, if you'll marry me, I'll buy you a house with a big oak tree. Say, darling, say, we'll live in the house with the big oak tree. 3 little babies on your knee. Yes, and I know that diamond ring. Yes, I know that diamond ring is gonna shine. So hush, little darling, don't say a word. I'm gonna buy you a mockingbird.
Good day, this is Thumbs United. We're doing our creative stream, continuing Creative Wednesday. It's technically Thursday, but here we go. We have a short episode that we're gonna edit. It's only like, nothing. There's tons of spaces, so there's like, it says it kind of ends at 30 minutes, but there's like maybe 18 minutes of video footage. There's no photos, so this will be a really quick edit. We can just go through and kind of watch and cut down what needs to be cut down. So this one's not so important that we get the timings exactly right. We're going to go through and get the timings right and the best parts of the clip, but it's not, we don't have to do this in order to do the animation for the photographs, because there's no photographs here. So this one is just going to be quick, and once we're done with this. So let's get started. Just making them a little bit fatter so they're easier to grab. And I'll bring this bigger so everyone can see it. And what I do is I just watch it, and I go until I kind of get bored with the image, or if it gets too shaky. I do like to go longer than usual. Like, I like my clips to be, well, if it's 3D, I like the clips to be 25 to 40 seconds long. I'm just looking through one angle, and that gives a chance for everyone to look around. On 2D videos, I'll go a little quicker, something like 5 to 12 seconds is like acceptable, and then sometimes I'll go a little longer. Like this one, I'm going way long, mainly because it's interesting. That guy walking and playing in reverse, that plane taking off. There's a lot, and then these cars going through. There's a lot of kind of activity. As soon as the plane stops, I'm going to clip it. No, actually, till that guy goes. Okay, I'm gonna clip it. So that was a long one. That was like 50 seconds. Which is unusual. And then, yeah, there's nothing else at the end of that clip. It's gonna look like a jump cut, but it's really not. This was filmed in April 2017, and this footage is actually in 4K, so I don't have to upscale it or anything. That kind of, nothing much happened there at the end. There was this one time we were flying to New York, and we were about to take off, but then they were like, oh, we have to de-ice the plane. Like, the plane just came in and it just exchanged people, and I was like, oh no. You know, something must have been going wrong if they decided kind of last minute to de-ice the plane. So it was interesting. We essentially went to this kind of empty spot in the airport, and they came with their truck and they just sprayed down the airplane. And then that part was fine. I wasn't worried. I don't get worried flying. I get worried getting to the airport and missing the flight and stuff, and going through security. And, like, that stuff gives me anxiety. But once I'm on the plane, I'm like happy because I really love flying, and I just find it relaxing because it's just like, you know what, you're gonna be stuck on this plane for like 5 or 6 hours. Just enjoy it. So I like read. I occasionally watch a video or so, and then I listen to podcasts and just type away. I've written many a script on an airplane. So this is another unusual clip. It's just, I find it really interesting going past all this stuff. Well, going back to the de-icing, so I was fine with it. I was just like, oh, whatever. It's interesting that we have to de-ice. And then the lady next to me, she was a nervous flyer. And even though I'm not a nervous flyer, I was nervous that she was going to have a meltdown as Z-Flow. So she's like, I don't know, she was doing something weird, like not punching her seat, but like holding on. And this was just for the de-icing, which is just, it's like a fire truck comes and sprays the airplane. And then she's like, oh God, oh God. And then while we're flying, she orders like so many drinks. And it's just like, oh no. Is she trying to self-medicate? What's going on? This is kind of redundant. Except for there. Here it is. Something interesting. Like I said, this is going to be a really quick episode to edit. Oh, you know what? Oh no, never mind. I don't know where we're going for this. This pilot's taking the widest turn possible. Yeah, it sure is. That was just a really wide turn. And there was this one time we were flying and we saw the Trump airplane. I was like, oh my goodness. So glad we were on the plane and out before like all that extra security came through the airport or something. So we're about a third of the way through, and I've been streaming for like 10 minutes. And I'm just gonna clip this checkerboard line going across that. And here we go. I think we're getting ready to take off. We ran so many errands today. After I got off the stream earlier today, I think it was like 5 I finished. I finished the stream and I started a YouTube video and computer just crashed, blue screen to death. I was like, wow, this hasn't happened in a while. And some core process failed, and had to be rebooted. Nothing was lost. I had saved everything, but it's still a little bit annoying. And then something else happened. So we go to Costco, and then we ate at Del Taco. We actually changed which Costco we went to. We went to the one that was near Del Taco, and so we got a little bit extra food from Costco. Like, we were just getting things in bulk, like extra organic milk, eggs and stuff. And then we had placed a food order at a store called Bush's, and you can order online and then they go and pick everything out. So the majority of the food we were going to get from somewhere else. We were just getting kind of the things we need in bulk from Costco. And so we ended up kind of going over budget, and we got like a lot of extra food, just kind of like snack foods and stuff, in addition to the milk and the eggs. And then we get to Bush's, and we call them up and we're like, okay, we're here for online pickup, and they bring the cart out to your car, and then we just load the car up with what's in the cart. And so I'm like, oh, I have to go to the restroom. So I run in, and the manager is like, are you the guy here for the online order? And I was like, yep. And he's like, we never got an order. There's nothing picked. And I was like, So I go to the restroom, then I come back to the car and I tell my mom. And so we're checking for the, seeing if they charged our card, and they didn't, and there was no email confirmation. So I was like, So it was a good thing we bought extra from Costco, because we didn't have groceries. And so the deal with Wednesday is, if you order on Wednesday, they waive their kind of service fee. So you pay essentially just for the stuff. The service fee is only like $7, but my mom, on principle, will not pay the $7 any other day. She will only shop on Wednesday. So I thought that was funny. And then so after all that, we drove home, unloaded the car, and then kind of, this is a side story that's going to go to the main story. But before I left, everyone else was getting my grandmother ready, and I was like, I'm going to go finish my Steadicam that I was building. I had made, it's like a glide cam / Steadicam setup, and it allows you to walk around with the camera, but there's no it's very it's like you're smoothly walking, there's no shaking, there's no, like, if you hold a camera and start trying to walk, there's just a lot of camera movement, a lot of shakiness. And what a glide cam does is it uses a weight. It's like a pole, and towards the top of the pole there's it's like a hinge, and at the bottom of the pole there's a weight, and you attach the camera to the top. And so close to the top there's a handle, and the handle has kind of like these hinges where it can twist left to right, back and forth, and up and down. And so you just hold the handle, which is connected to the pole, and then when you can twist your wrist around, you can rotate your wrist, and the camera will kind of stay in place. And it uses gravity to keep the camera level and keep all the shakiness out. So I was like, I'm going to build that out of PVC. I build a lot of shoulder mounts. If I want to build like a handle to a camera so I can have it 2 inches above the ground, but I don't have to hunch over, so I can film as I walk, I built a couple of those. And like, I built shoulder mounts that go over both shoulders, and those are like the nice ones. And then I built shoulder mounts that you hold it and you push it against your shoulder. And then also I made shoulder mount that just goes over one shoulder, and it's okay and it stabilizes, but you have to worry about holding it straight because all your weight is only on one shoulder. And so this was kind of a bigger project. I took my shoulder mount that goes over both shoulders and I extended the front, and then I built this. It's kind of like it was two squares inside of each other, and so one square I attached to the outside of the shoulder mount with string, and so it can rotate forward and back. And then I had another, so then I took the smaller square and attached it to the bigger square, but I only connected in two places, in the front and the back of the square. And so because the string is going that way, it could rotate left and right within the smaller square, and then the bigger square connected to the shoulder mount can rotate forward and back. And so that's 2 axis of stabilization. And so I did a lot of tests, and I was able to get like really steady video while walking, but because I used like this heavy duty cord, every time I took a step it would bounce, and so it was like you were on a bouncy castle kind of, but it was still more stable. The bounce wasn't that bad, and so I was thinking, I gotta get rid of that bounce, because when there are ways you can walk even smoother and get rid of the bounce, but it takes so much more energy to do that. I was like, there has to be an easier way, because I want a running gun, just go to a park and film as fast as possible, and then know that I got the footage I needed. And so I went looking in my attic, and I was like, I know I have more PVC connectors and stuff. So I found the motherload, a collection that I forgot I put in storage, and so I got that. And what I did was I cut all the string off, and using the same kind of box setup, I had these really large connectors and then I had smaller PVC tubes, and I just lined them up and connected the same way the cords went. I just connected the PVC that way. And so now I've tested it out a little bit, not with the camera on, but it is so much smoother. There's no vibration. It goes forward and back, and there's just enough resistance that it doesn't swing wildly. So I'm very happy with that. And I think it will be able to support a heavier camera instead of just a GoPro or the 3D GoPro. So I'm going to try it with my JVC camera. I know it's not going to be strong enough to hold a DSLR, but my JVC camera is lighter than a DSLR, so hopefully that works. But I'm going to be testing that tomorrow. I got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. We have a package coming. We ordered a garden umbrella for my grandmother, and so the time frame is sometime between 8 in the morning and 8 p.m. So somewhere within those 12 hours they'll be arriving. And so this is flying from Detroit into, I think, LaGuardia. We're actually landing there. This is New York. You gotta pay big bucks to get shots like this from a helicopter or airplane, or you can do it, with a GoPro inside the passenger seat. So I think this is LaGuardia. When we first started going to New York, we used to go to LaGuardia and not really JFK. It was just always more expensive to go to JFK. But now we found a cheap one, and it's seasonal, and the season's over. But you could get tickets for between $20 to $40 from Detroit to ISIP, which is the Long Island airport. So we're almost done. We're just going to go through this and see if there's anything interesting. And then, yeah. I'm going to reorganize it a little bit. I want to get this rotation. So yeah, so I'm going to test out the Steadicam. And with the Steadicam, I have to test it out in multiple recording formats. So I tested out at 4K, I tested it out at 2K at 60 frames, and then I tested out at HD at 120 frames. And so then I see which one looks the best. Before, with the string method and with the extra bounce, what I discovered is the 1080p at 120 frames per second looked the best when you slow that down, make it 4 times slower, so it's playing at 30 frames. So that was like a bummer. And there's a way I can get the 2K at 60 frames per second to look similar to the HD. And what I really wanted was 4K. But unfortunately my camera only records 4K at 30 frames per second. So you can't really slow that down a lot. But so that's what I have to do. I have to test it at 4K, and it's really the frame rates I'm testing. I kind of want everything I do to be either in 3D or in 4K. I don't really want to do 2D videos that are only HD. Okay. So I mentioned I wanted to reorganize this. And these are both going from Detroit to New York. So we're gonna lie. And everything in film and TV is a lie. So we're gonna take this, and these are the shots of the airport, and we're just gonna put them before the video of leaving in kind of the cloudy weather. So it's like the sun hasn't come up. It's morning, and then we go, we're flying, cloudy, 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 and then sunset. Well, technically that's the sunrise. So we're actually going backwards in time. But nobody needs to know that. It's just a secret between you, me, and the internet. Okay, so This is 11 minutes. And I'll open the next one. I'm going to take a short break. And I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So we have kind of a lot to edit with the video. This is 20 minutes of mostly just video. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of all the audio, because we don't need it, and it will just get in the way. So there's not many photographs in here, but it's still important that we trim down the videos before we start animating. And like, this is 20 minutes. We're probably going to get it to around 12 or 15 minutes. We should be able to shave off an easy 5 minutes. Because like the whole clips are just selected for certain sections of it. So like these long ones, they'll be cut up in shorter bits. And it's not so much like before we would go and I would watch the video to see, you know, how long you could watch the video before you kind of ran out of things to look at, before your eyes got bored. This one we're gonna clip out the best things. It's not so much about time. It's gonna be more kind of jump cut. So here we go. And I'm also, as we go, make these fatter and Here comes the Lear. This is the Long Island Railroad. So it's what takes you from Long Island into New York City. I kind of like this drift the camera does. I was gonna cut it out, but I'll keep it in. And I just want to go as long as possible. And then, I know I said I wasn't going to do it for this, but these ones are okay. These are like, kind of indoor. Once we get to looking out the window, then it's going to be clipping the best thing. So it's okay if these are longer. Do. This one's just kind of a funny shot. It does not need to be so long though, so I'll cut it off there. They're pulling into another station. So now this is where we're going to start to heavily cut. And we're only going to find things that are interesting. So that this counts as something interesting. So let's watch it again. It's slowly going past. That's too quick. Get these houses. And the train's moving slow, it's gonna start moving a lot faster. And once this passes, I'll cut. And I'm just making sure there's nothing else exciting in that clip. Now we're going through the city, and we're still in Long Island. So I really just want this street. And then I'm looking for another street to look out at. That one. And you see the hotels and everything. I don't know what I did, but my feet and calf hurt so much specifically on the right side. The arch of my foot is like cramping. And I don't know why. I mean, the way I've been working outside has been a little different, but I've been working kind of symmetrically the same on both sides of the body, so I don't know why the left side is like fine and the right side is kind of in pain. Yeah, it's right in the bottom arch of my foot. I can like feel the muscle it's just clenched. It won't relax. And so I'm trying to move my foot around and get it comfortable. So tomorrow is going to be a Mass Effect marathon. It's going to be a rerun of episodes 1 through 8. And that's like 17 hours of Mass Effect. And then I will be back online to stream more creative content. Sometime between 12 p.m. and 1 a.m. Eastern Time. So it'll be very similar to this, where I started at 1 a.m. I'm kind of moving up the creative schedules, just because it's too difficult for me to do the morning ones. So the morning streams are going to be turned into early afternoon streams. So sometime between 12 and 2 is when I'll start streaming the morning ones. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Mass Effect Marathon. Then at night, a creative stream. But no, going forward, the morning creative streams are just going to be no more. And part of that is because I'm starting to work more in the morning, so I have a lot of stuff I have to do before I can stream. And what's nice about streaming in the middle of the day is that's when it's starting to get the brightest and the hottest, so I can take a break, come stream, and then go back and work outside during the evening, and then I can stream at night. Just everything works a little better. I went to the USPS store and I picked up my package that wasn't able to be delivered. I mean, it was my fault that it wasn't able to be delivered, but picked it up. It was the power supply, and so tomorrow morning I'm gonna install it, and then I have some failed RAM, and I'm gonna test it one more time with the new power supply, because it could have just been that the power supply was not supplying enough juice to the motherboard, and that's why the RAM was faulty, but I don't think so. Yeah. So I'm still waiting on the RAM that I ordered. I'm nervous about it because it is used RAM, and like I've bought used processors, I bought used motherboards and never had a problem, but I'm like apprehensive about the used RAM. I mean, yeah, I can always return it, but I've already had problems with this company so far. Just that they lied. You know, they said 2-day shipping, and it's not going to get here for another... Like, it was supposed to get here today, and they haven't even shipped it yet. It's their estimation is on July, like, 29th. It's like, that's in 10 days from now. So technically 12 days from when I ordered it. I was just like, it's obnoxious. Because I already have like a queue of things I need this Linux box to start working on. So a lot of this footage we're able to keep. It's very interesting. Going through all these cityscapes and everything. So I'm surprised. I thought we would shave down like an extra 10 or 5 to 10 minutes. It looks like we're going to keep everything. Just waiting for the train to start moving. And right now this is the GoPro Hero 3 Plus, and the reason why it looks like extra hazy, it's not because of the window, it's because it's recording in ProTune. And ProTune, you can have a setting where it doesn't record the white balance. It just records everything, all the colors exactly like the sensor sees it, so it doesn't compress the colors. It doesn't shift them based on the color temperature. And so you get a higher quality image to work with, but you have to work with it. Like, you have to color grade, you have to change the brightness and contrast and the curves. And so for some people it's a headache who don't like color grading, but if you do it this way, then you get, superior image quality. Once you've made all the adjustments and everything, it's a higher quality image. And a lot of this is really interesting. We're about halfway through. Half of me wants to cut this up, but there's no real good point to. I mean, I like how long this shot is. Okay, we'll cut it there. Starting to get shaky. Starting to get really shaky. We don't even need that clip. I'm just planning ahead. I know I'm going to need space to move everything. Yeah, my leg is still crampy. It's like going to different spots in the muscle. It's really weird. I think maybe it was overextended while I was working. But then the other foot should be, in just as much pain. So after I want to edit one more project after this. I'll open up the next one, and if it's a doozy of a project, then I'll save it for tomorrow night. But if it's not, I don't know about this shot. I think we'll just keep 10 seconds of it. So that's pretty much till that guy comes across and then walks over there. That's like the most interesting thing about that shot, motion-wise. There's like some reason for this. Oh, and then the motion behind there. That's a longer clip. Okay. I had like, I don't know, temporary amnesia. I was like, did I edit that clip? I forgot for a second. I'll keep a little bit of this in. Essentially cutting this clip in half. And so tomorrow, just kind of talking about what we had to do. We have a garden umbrella coming, and that's for my grandmother. And it's coming sometime between 8 in the morning and 8 p.m. So that's like a 12-hour window. She's just like, not helpful. Why don't you just say it's coming sometime during the day? But and so I have a weed whacker to pick up, and we got a, what's it called? Professional grade one. I've converted all the lawn equipment I used to steel. I don't know if that's how you say it, but I got a leaf blower and an edger, which is like a weed whacker, but it has a metal bit, and it will go and it actually cuts the dirt and the grass between the cement and the grass. And so once the weed whacker died, I was like, you know what, we're going with another still. It's just, they're so reliable, and out of the box they have worked better than any other lawn equipment we have, except for our lawnmower, which is a John Deere. That one works pretty well, but the like Troy built, terrible. It only lasted about 6 months before it completely died. And I know what the problem is. The problem is something to do with the carburetor, but there's no way you can adjust the carburetor. And then we had this Shamaha, I think that's how you say it, and it was a refurbished one, and it only cost like $120. And so that one died, but then I was able to fix it. And then finally, what ended up killing it was the pull cord broke. And so I took it apart, and it's just like too much to deal with. And so that one's being retired, and so that's why we're getting the steel, because there's 2 acres of land I have to control, but maybe it's like maybe a half an acre or something I have to weed whack essentially like every other day. So that's why we're getting the professional one. And there are multi-levels of the professional weed eaters or weed whackers, and we're getting kind of in the middle professional one. There are some really expensive ones where I'm like, who would pay for that? And they're like $1,200. She's like, oh my goodness. But we're getting a deal on ours where it's on sale, and so it's technically not on sale, but we're getting the sale price. So instead of being like 380, it's only like 280. So it's 100 off. Okay, we're getting close to the end. To be honest, I'm doing much better in this stream than I thought. Right before I started, my eyes were like, I thought my eyeballs were gonna fall out. It was just, they were so dry, and it was like all of a sudden I was like, I don't know if I can even focus on the screen. But today was a workout. But yeah, so I want to do one more episode of trimming down the video to do tonight, and so that means we will have done 6 episodes, getting the final timing and edit lock. It's not technically a real edit lock. What it is it's more like the video edit lock. The photos still have to be animated, and then we have to go through, and once the photos are animated, then do the color grading for the video to get the video to look like the photos. So that's kind of the plan. And so there's 9 episodes, and there's going to be 10 because I have to split up one project. I have to remember to actually split it up. I think this is just going to be another long clip. And so I had to go pick out the weed whacker, and then I have a doctor's appointment that's an hour and a half away, and like nothing bad is happening. It's just a checkout to make sure everything's working right. And then I come home, and what I want to do is build the PC in the morning to see if it will work. And then once I come home, I have a little bit of free time where I'm going to do more web development stuff. And like I said, I'm working on a calendar of production. And so it's going to be a public calendar, and then you'll be able to see when projects are going to Patreon, when projects are coming to YouTube publicly, different articles when they're about to be published. So it's kind of like a master file of where everything is. I did that for a little bit with this webpage called the changelog, but I kind of stopped updating that because it was difficult to do. Well, difficult to remember, and then I was just like, does everyone really want to see these changes? So I stopped doing that. But this calendar I'm going to keep up with, and essentially every time I go to upload something and schedule the upload, then I'm going to add it into the calendar. And so it's going to be for everyone, for Thumbs United, for Live to Tape, pretty much all the content from LCD Productions. Photations, it's even going to show when new things go into the store for the Photation store. Now we're going underground. Okay, So that's it. Everything is locked. So right there is, it was 22 minutes. So let's see how long it is now. When I said it was going to be like 5 minutes shaved off. I wasn't wrong. It was 22 minutes, now it's 16 minutes, which is what I said it would be, but I wasn't going to be surprised if we shaved like 10 minutes off. This is the end of the clip. And I'm actually doing the exact time, the start time and the end time with the clips, because if I want to submit this to render, I ran into this problem when rendering the 3D content. I had forgotten to set the limit. So if you don't set the limit and you leave it like the end point out at like an hour and 30 minutes, it will render everything first, but then keep rendering to an hour and 30 minutes. So I'm kind of going through and setting the endpoints just in case I want to do a quick render. I don't want it to render, 4 hours of video when you only need the first 15. So I'm going to check out the next project, and if it's not a doozy, then we will do it. This one we just did was pretty good. It was not that long. Okay, so the next one is it's simple. As you can see, everything in purple is photos. We don't have to trim those at all. It's everything in this dark blue, not the teal. That is video that we had to do, so there's not that much video. So as always, we're gonna get rid of the audio clips. So once this is complete, we will have edited a 6 episodes. 6 out of the 9 episodes. That was a little short. And you can see there's no stabilization. That's what's doing that kind of shakiness as I walk. And I kind of have a little bit of a limp when I walk. So, and that comes through on the camera like a lot. And like there are ways I can kind of mask the limp. But it's difficult to do. I think we're getting to the story of the truck. That's coming. While I was editing this one, we came up with the whole story behind a truck. It was like really difficult to edit because like the truck was either empty or it was full. and we're gonna come up to it. But, so the videos are like pretty well cut down. Like they're pretty much ready. And this one's just too short. It's not even worth the time. You can't really explore with your eyes the image or anything. Here it is, the story of the truck. I'm just letting the cars go past. So here's the truck that gave us so much problems. So they're unloading the truck. And then we look away from the truck, and the truck is just, it's in the shot too many times. And there's the truck again. And this video is just focused on the truck. Do. So now the truck is closed. Right to the other side of the street. I mean, the truck thing was just kind of a funny problem we had editing. It looks better now. Before, when it was first aligned, it was just like truck, and it was a little much. But it's been spread around and cut down a little bit. And now the truck has turned into a limousine. I'm gonna cut out that first I'm kind of jitter. And it was so cold. It was October and it was like, it was under 30 degrees. New York is not the warmest place at the end of the fall. Okay, that's... So now we just align it. And this was the last one of the night. So it was a minute and it was 20 minutes and 1 minute, 21 minutes. So we shaved off about a minute and a half. So we're gonna, there we go. So thanks for coming by. Tomorrow, starting in the morning, is the Mass Effect 2 Let's Play, episodes 1 through 8. It's about 17 hours. And then sometime between 10 p.m. and 1 p.m., 1 a.m. in the morning, 10 at night or 1 in the morning, then I'll do another creative stream where we should do another 3 episodes, fine-tuning the video and everything. And then over the weekend I will do some offline, I'll do some title sequences, and then probably Saturday and Sunday I should have it done Friday, and then we'll add those in, and then once those are finalized, we can go through and animate the photographs, and there's a lot to animate. And then then the 4K episodes will be locked down. The 4K with 35mm. There's a whole nother section of 4K we have to do, but it's not going to be mixed with a video. It's just going to be all photos, so it will go a lot faster. But there's like going to be like maybe 15 to 20 episodes of the other versions of 4K. And then we also have to do the VR editions and 3D. And so we have a lot of work. Like I said, I would be very surprised if we finished this before like the beginning of October or end of September. I mean, it's gonna take like months of straight work, and then we have to write all the scripts and everything, and that's gonna be a lot. And I'm planning, I'm kind of hoping that I'll have a bigger budget for the New York project, and I'll be able to hire a voice actor other than me. Like, I think my voice is fine, it's okay, but I really cringe when I go back and watch my stuff. And so, like, even though I'm writing the words, I think it'd be better, for me at least, if I get somebody else to do the voiceover, and then I can, watch my own content and not like squirm listening to my own voice, because it's really weird, I mean, I recommend you record yourself talking and then listen back to it. It's a weird sensation, because it's like, oh my goodness, that's what I sound like. And some people it's okay, but most people are like, I can't believe I sound like that. It sounds totally different when I'm talking in real life, but on recording is just too different. So, and then if you have to go and edit your conversations, that takes a lot of getting used to. But I've gotten used to that, but still, it's a lot to deal with. So thanks for tuning in. Tomorrow is a rerun of Mass Effect 2, episodes 1 through 8. At night, I'm doing another creative stream, and then Friday is a creative stream. So there'll be 2 creative streams, and then the weekends I'm going to try to do 2 creative streams, including Monday. So thanks for coming in. See everyone tomorrow night live. Bye bye.